morning and welcome to the Morning Expresso by the Indian Express. My name is Rahil Philippos and here is today's big story. The BJP government in Karnataka is considering a modification of its contentious order issued earlier this month, which suggested that a ban on hijabs in government pre-university colleges would not amount to a violation of the right to freedom of religion. Sources said that a modification of this order issued by the state's education department is being considered but may not be possible immediately since the issue is being challenged in the Karnataka High Court. And now for our stories exclusive to the Indian Express. As one of only two partners of the BJP in the UP Assembly polls, the Apna Dal S brings to the table the Kurmi vote and a good showing in the past two polls as an NDA partner. As leader of the party and as a union leader, Anupriya Patel has marched ahead of the rival faction of the Apna Dal led by her mother. In a chat with the Indian Express, she speaks about caste equations as well as her party's relationship with the BJP. And now for our stories from the front page. For Chitra Ramakrishna, who is seen as having played a key role in both setting up and the growth of the National Stock Exchange, the fall was way steeper than the rise. The latest SEBI order slapping more fines on Ramakrishna and others responsible for operations at the NSE has brought to light a bizarre facet of corporate misgovernance at the country's top boss. That Ramakrishna allegedly collaborated with an unknown yogi in the running of the exchange. In this election across Punjab, numbers are often invoked to make a political point. 70 saal or 70 years is a shorthand for cynicism against two parties that have taken turns to rule the state. 4.5 saal or 4.5 years, a lament about the Captain Amrinder Singh government. And yet, only months after its historic success, candidates of the farmers' movement have almost no visible momentum in the campaign, leaving the field more or less clear for the AAP to woo the vote for change. Meanwhile, 3 days before Punjab votes, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, while seeking votes for the Congress party, targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi over his foreign policy, saying, "I hope leaders of the ruling party have understood by now that relationships do not improve by hugging politicians or moving on swings or turning up to eat biryani without invitation." The last two were references to the time Modi spent with the leaders of China and Pakistan. Next up are today's must-read stories. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi's comments at a recent roadshow where he asked Punjabis to unite so that bhaiyas from UP, Delhi and Bihar can't rule the state have left migrants from UP and Bihar worried and seeking their own voice. Ludhiana's migrants who work in its industrial hubs before making the city their home form a key force in the district with an estimated 19 lakh of them spread across 14 assembly seats. The National Assessment and Accreditation Council of India has relaxed the eligibility criteria for the accreditation of higher educational institutions. The new guidelines drawn up by the NAAC, which is an autonomous body under the UGC, allow newer institutions, those with one academic year or more, to apply for provisional accreditation. We explain how the process of accreditation works as well as how the new relaxations will help. Javed Anand, the convener of the Indian Muslims for Secular Democracy, explains what's at stake with the hijab ban in Karnataka. You can read his opinion on the IndianExpress.com. During a passionate debate in Singapore's parliament earlier this week, the city-state's prime minister made a controversial comment about India's MPs that has now landed him in hot water. He said that almost half of the lawmakers in Lok Sabha have criminal charges pending against them and suggested a decline in the country's democratic polity from Nehru's India. India on Thursday summoned Singapore's High Commissioner Simon Wong to express its displeasure. And finally, goodbye to PSL, my body is in serious pain. And with that, Shahid Afridi announced his retirement from the Pakistan Super League. His exit has been slow, his retirements and U-turns many. Tests, ODIs, T20 and now franchise cricket, he has periodically lightened his load and dragged his feet while leaving the turf. He did overstay his welcome, but no one complained. After all, Afridi is entertaining company. And that's all for today's Morning Expresso. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the Indian Express's YouTube channel for the latest news updates.